Hi, this is Michael Kossa,
And Duncan Kossa.
and we have embarked on a project to restore a Moulton bicycle, which was given to me by Stanley Sher and belonged to one of his brothers-in-law. And this is week 4 of the project.
And it is a solid bicycle,
It is
not a Moulton bicycle. We're going to be doing very well.
Yeah, so we'll flip this around shortly, and we'll show you what the bicycle looks like
Yes.
in a moment.
Okay. This is the bicycle. We got a new front wheel for it, and we're replacing the wheels with slightly bigger ones. This is the box of all project objects. So this is the original wheel size.
Which was 16 1 3/8, and
Yeah.
because we couldn't find wheels of that size,
Yeah.
or tires or tubes of that size in South Africa, we have decided to put on bigger wheels.
Yeah.
And in order to put on 20-inch wheels, bigger wheels,
Yeah.
we have had to
adjust the fork.
extend the forks.
Okay, so this
And,
is what, yeah, I guess this is roughly what it looked like before. This goes that way. Does it?
No,
It
that
goes
way.
So it's this way, and it sits roughly there. And these used to sit about here,
Yeah.
just touching, but we've now needed to extend it so we get that much extra space, which then should let us install the larger wheels about there, with enough gap here, right, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to. I don't
So
know
if you bring the fork a little closer,
does this thing, does it autofocus? Is this visible?
yeah, that's visible.
Okay, so this shape was extended with this plate into which we cut like a curve to match the original, and then welded it shut. Thanks, Daniel, for the welder. And now we intend to drill the holes and slide them out for the cutouts over here. So we basically extended, we'll move the hole about that much across. So we have extra length, so now that the tire doesn't sit up here, it has like a little bit of a gap.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that we've done, we'll have to do as a result, is that you can't get wheels with integral gear mechanisms anymore, so we've had to change to like an external cassette type, the modern type, and so we also need a derailleur, but we've got a derailleur that's going to sit onto this post. Yeah, so it's going to fit onto here. We've got this derailleur instead, because the old one had like a cool 3-speed mechanism built into the hub, which we no longer have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a proper
What is it? Sturmy Archer?
What?
The Sturmy Archer or Sturmer Archer, the old fashioned 3-speed
I don't know
that
that.
I grew up with.
Okay.
Oh yes, here are the
Yeah, here's the beautiful handlebars,
handlebars.
which we are also yet to fix. I really like this thing. It's like a really clever mechanism for making this thing fit. You tighten the shaft, and then this like slightly offset thing gets pulled that way. Is this in frame? Can you see this?
Yeah.
And it gets pulled up that way, and so what would fit in the tube, if you picture there's a tube over here, as you tighten the screw, this moves up, and this no longer fits in the tube. So you basically put this in the tube, tighten here, and that draws this up until it's jammed. It's a very clever mechanism. So yeah, still to restore all of this stuff. Yeah.
So you can see that the bicycle is stripped down to its bare bones.
Yeah.
That cog is still there. The saddle post and
seat
saddle
post
are
is gone.
off. The
Back rack is gone.
the rack is gone. The rack is a feature of most Moultons, or many Moultons. And here it is. Duncan's just getting it out.
Does it go like that?
So
Sits on like there.
slides on like that.
Also.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is quite a nice one. You can fit quite a lot of stuff in there. Yeah,
At least a small person.
medium person.
Medium
I mean, if you had a
person.
big seat.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's our last bit,
Mm-hmm.
which is that we are busy working on the front tube and forks, because obviously, as we had to for the last one, these guys used to fit quite nicely in here, but there's a little gap, and if we move to the bigger ones, there isn't going to be enough gap. I don't know if that's visible, but basically the tire is colliding here, so we need to lengthen these.
So that's the next phase.
So we're going to
project.
do the same thing, weld on plates over here that are thicker than this original steel, do a nice like cutout to mate the shapes properly, and then extend them, and then cut new cutouts. And that's all fine, but this thing has this fantastic spring mechanism inside to give you suspension.
This is the front suspension of the Moulton.
Yeah, so it's got this like little boot and then a spline shaft over here with a spring inside, which we've taken out. Now the thing that we're struggling with is that we don't actually have the right tools, believe it or not. Wow, you can't see the workshop. There are a lot of tools that I've collected, but I don't have a pin spanner that can grip into these things. I don't know, is that visible? Can you see that? So these guys over here, you get a special spanner that sort of clips in there, and then you can put torque on it. And we don't have that, and we want that because we want to service this part. I don't think this is kind of like a thing that you can replace. So if we can undo this and take the whole thing off, then we can clean any debris off this spline shaft. I'm sure there's lots of it because it's been moving up and down for 60 years. Yeah, so we want to be able to service this thing. To do that, we need to take this thing apart. To do that, we need a pin spanner, preferably an adjustable one. Yeah, so if anyone has one of those, we'd appreciate it. And then, yeah, once this is serviced, we're going to move on with this guy, and then the main adjustments will be done, I hope, and we'll be ready to start reassembling, which is what they always say, and then it takes another 5 years.
Yeah.
By then it'll be an e-bike.
So cheers for now. Okay, welcome back to Moulton project.
Still solid.
Still solid. What Duncan is showing you here is the template that we've drawn on a piece of cardboard. That will now be transferred onto a piece of thick sheet metal, the same thickness as we used for the rear forks.
This is where it goes.
So you can see it goes about
there.
Yeah, that's
So we're going to have this whole shape here to extend
That's
it.
the extension.
And then the hole is probably going to be about there, and that'll
Yeah.
give us enough space for the tire to fit. This is a soapstone. This is a piece of 5mm plate or something. And I am roughly transferring the shape that we're going to cut.
Now tracing the design onto the metal.
Again with the soapstone. It's very useful.
What would we do without soapstone?
Feels like there's a pun in there somewhere.
As Cossers, of course, we don't know what puns are.
We don't.
We know what paranomasia is, but we don't know what
How's
puns are.
paranomasia?
Paranomasia is the art of punning.
Oh, so we're pedants too.
The extensions side by side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. She loves you. I'm frightfully keen on her too.
In case you don't recognize that, that's Peter Sellers.
Okay, now for the real fun bit. Okay.
So Duncan's yes,
Oh, okay.
Duncan's going to explain what he's doing here.
Come closer if you want to see the details. I mean, people, I'm sure, yeah, this is not definitely not a tutorial, it's a description.
Mm-hmm.
You put the acetylene on first, and then you click on the gauge and turn it up until it reaches the pressure you want, which in this case is about 5 psi. You turn it off. Do the same with the oxygen. Turn it on at the tank, then turn it on here, the handle. Then turn it up until it reaches about 20 for cutting. Maybe 25, and then turn it off. And then you're ready to go. And then for lighting, just crack the acetylene on a bit. Oh, just a big torch. There we go. Now the acetylene is going. Wait till it's furry, and then turn on the oxygen. So about there, where the cones are all the same size. So about there, and then you can squeeze for turbo mode, which gives you more oxygen. And you heat it up. I don't know if you can see, the contrast alright.
Mm-hmm.
You heat it up until it melts, and then you blast oxygen, and it cuts.
Although you're not an electrician, this gives sparkly a whole new meaning.
Sparky?
Sparky?
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm very glad you're not wearing your sandals again.
Wow. The first time we did this,
6 times.
I had sandals on and I had sparks burn my feet.
It's just making a slaggy mess now. Okay, well that's most of it.
Well, let's have a close-up so you can see what it looks like. Best thing is just to start the filing and then to test every now and then to see how you're doing. So I'm going to do that, put it in the vise.
Is this one of your many vices?
I have so few. In fact, I have the same vice at home. So I guess... Why?
You're in the middle of your vices spiel and then it stopped recording because I hit the wrong damn button.
Oh, I see. Now this is going to be tricky because can you see that it hasn't cut through here altogether?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what...
You might need a very small file.
Although it'll be noisy, I think we need the angle grinder just to open up that...
Oh, that little bit.
That little bit.
No, I think we shouldn't. I think we should perhaps use a hacksaw.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, if it'll cut through metal...
There we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then a very small file. So
Top
I
right.
don't know, do we need to approach a woman about a nail file? Top right. Oh, I see. You've got some very small files there which I can't reach.
Approach a woman, he says.
So could you perhaps reach one of those 2 red-handled files? Yeah. We've just spent the last half hour or so filing, literally with files, filing away to get the right shape and the right size.
Yeah.
And you can see Duncan's one here is coming along.
Getting there.
So pretty good. When he holds it up against the fork, you can see how it's meant to go, to slot in like that.
Yeah.
And he's almost done with his. Quite a lot to go on mine.
Dad's still got a little, 1 or 2
yeah,
bits to go. Yeah.
But 1 or 2 little bits.
Just these bits.
Just those tiny bits in between.
The filing is
But-
so easy and labor free. You know, you don't even break a sweat.
No, you don't even break a sweat. No, not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we sign off for this week, and we'll see you again in the next episode.